Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seven Nights 2. This is first look and gameplay impressions. I am going to, in this video, be playing on auto, let it go through and show you some of the gameplay, some of the combat, while I discuss, in my opinion, my feelings about the game so far from my experience. Let's go ahead and get started. I've played the game for about 4 hours. I've spent 30 or 40 bucks or something, a few bucks to try out the summoning packs. I've tried the user interface. I've tried the number of heroes. I tried playing manually. I let it run on the auto. And I've also poked around with basically the events, their missions, their starting up stuff, etc. Enough to get a general idea of what your gameplay is going to be. And so here is the gameplay loop that you're going to experience with this game. It is a gacha game, and it is an action RPG. So essentially what you're going to be experiencing is Diablo-like fighting combat. If what the combat you're witnessing now looks interesting to you, that's pretty much the gameplay combat of it. This is pretty standard. You have 4 heroes at a given time. You can control any of the 4 heroes you want, and you can even swap between the 4 heroes like I'm doing now to control the different ones. Each of your 4 heroes that are currently on the field have different skills, including ultimate abilities. You can choose whether or not your 4 heroes on the land are going to use their special abilities or not. You can choose, and like they're explaining here, whether or not you want to use rally, which is having them follow your main hero in case you're playing manually. You can choose the targeting target. There's a lot of stuff you can do with your heroes that are on the field, and that's where the game is really interesting, because if you go and you look at your heroes, you're also going to notice that your heroes have different classes. So there's like DPS, there's tank, there's universo, support, range, etc. What's the purpose of these classes? Well, there's actually a team-based system where, depending upon how you have people set up in formations, it will determine the order of combat that happens. So while it looks like basically a giant clusterfuck is happening on the screen, and it is to some point, you're actually determining the order in which your heroes are both taking and dealing damage. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. And this is kind of where it gets cool. So if you look at set team, yes, you can auto through your team settings if you want. And excuse me here, I'm going through the missions while I'm doing it. Turn the auto off so it stops doing it. So you go to set team here and you look. Now in the formations, I can choose different formations, which are going to change what my heroes do. The defensive formation is going to put tanks in the front, and the tanks are going to run out in the front to attack the other frontline heroes and hopefully receive the majority of the damage. And your backline heroes are going to stay back, wait for those guys to get tanking, and then hop on in there and get some damage dealing. I actually think the different formations is a really cool way of doing the game. Plus, in the different formations give you different bonuses. So you can see like defense, midline, skill cooldown, etc. So you can basically build the version of a team you want with the stats you want, and that gives you a lot of freedom in terms of the version or the way you're going to play the game. And I like that, okay? I do like that quite a bit. The summons are enjoyable to do. I will say it's horrible drop rates and really expensive, okay? Just right out the gate, in case you're wondering, it's not good. The drop rates are not good, okay? In fact, I'll show it to you right here. And this is where we're going to get into basically the problems with the game. It's a Netmarble game. Okay, if you look at it, it's much more akin to Genshin Impact in terms of gameplay, the UI, and kind of how they're even listing their drop rates, etc. If you look at it, it's 0.04% for Legendary Plus, which is like the ultimate god version of a hero, right? Ultimate is 0.66, Rare Plus is 2%, Rare is 7.3, and then you have Greater and Normal, which are your 2 basic bitch ones at 30% and 60%. Now, I won't say these drop rates are good because they're not. However, what I will say is that they actually have a pity system. So you can change the hero that you want to get, you see, with your pity-based system. So for that reason, it is both bad, but there's also a pity system, so you can kind of get the heroes you want over time. Okay, so that is kind of nice, all right? There's a few pack offers in the beginning because the game's just launching that aren't terrible deals. So if you're wanting to know about the monetization, the summoning rate, I'm sure over time it's going to be more and more pay to win. I'm sure the monetization will be like every single Netmarble game ever made. That is the con, and it's the con I know when I go to play the game. That being said, I'm not really looking to be the best player in the world in this game. I actually like the gameplay for what it is. The cutscenes are fairly decent. They're enjoyable. The combat is actually fun and feels like the choices you make are actually mattering. Granted, I'm still fairly new in the game, and I haven't got... I mean, the game just came out, okay? I haven't got days and days into this. It literally just came out, and I've been liking it so far. And if you're going to play casual, it's probably a pretty good casual game. I'd say try it out. I don't think you should join the game and spend thousands of dollars to get the best heroes, because we'll have another situation on our hands exactly like every other gacha game where you burn through content, spend a lot of money, and then the game just can't really satisfy your demands. So here's what I think, okay? I think probably should try the game. Take a peek at it, see what you think, okay? You're going to figure out pretty quickly whether or not you like the game, because they jump you in the first hour or two is basically the game. I mean, the first bit of the game, you're going right into it. And you can see here, these are what your tutorials are like, okay? So when you get to tutorial, they give you rewards for it. You can choose to do the tutorial, and it basically just explains the game in a really easy to understand way. The tutorials are fairly simple. Heard about the arena, tap on the menu arena, tap on arena here, there you go. It's my first time seeing an arena, which is where we're going to start fighting other people. This is the normal arena. You can check your ranks, etc. Normal preparation. You can go prepare your heroes, it looks like, and select a battle. Okay, all very simple. Seems standard. Let's look at the reward info. So if we actually look at the rewards here, as you go higher and higher ranks, you're going to get higher and higher gems, sort of like a Clash of Clans type system all the way up to rank 1. Looks pretty cool. Let's see what the other rewards are like. Master Challenger all the way down here. Let's see what the bottom of the barrel rewards are. You get 150 gems at the bottom, which is at least a single pull at a minimum. And the question is, how often are these paying out? Ranking information is updated every 10 minutes, but we want to know how often they pay out. Rewards can be claimed after the season calculation, which is 3 days, 5 hours. Looks like the season's probably more than likely a week. And if that's the scenario, the rewards aren't actually that trash, to be honest. There's a good amount of different tiers. There's like 1 million different Grand, 1 million different Master, 1 million different Challenger. So they're not throwing everyone in the same tier. They're giving you different tiers of that, which is actually kind of nice. So that doesn't look unreasonable. To be honest, the payout structure doesn't look unreasonable, but we'll know as time goes on. Let's look here. The arena you can get, looks like you can get literally legendary weapons straight up, which are expensive. So you can just straight up get legendary gear. That is interesting. Legendary enhancement runes to straight up enhance. So out of the arena, you can just straight up buy some legendary equipment, which seems to be very expensive. Speaking of expensive, let me show you the value of packs real quick. Let me give you an example. Here's an $89 legendary pack, which they're offering to give me basically a legendary hero, 3,200 rubies, 270 elixir, 3 destruction gems, and some XP. I don't know what these do yet. I think these are for enhancing. Yeah, enhancing your hero's potential, which is, potential. Sort of like Marvel Future Revolution, you get more stats, okay? Pretty simple. A lot of the mechanics are going to be recognizable and understandable for you if you're coming from Marvel Future Revolution. There's $1 packs. I like having $1 a day packs that have summons in them. A lot of games have these, and I just spend $1 a day on the summons. Real easy to get in and test it out. I'm going to do a couple polls for you guys right here, just so you can see it. And then the next video will probably be a summon session where we'll summon like $100 or something worth of stuff to really get an idea of exactly the rate ups. Now, here we go. I'm going to go on this one because I'm trying to get Spike. I really want him. I have 700 gems. So we can do about 5 poses real quick. This is what it looks like when they do the pose. You pose the ball, a bunch of different animations happen, and then the ball turns a color. Now, I got a gold once, and when I got the gold, it gave me a rare. So I thought the gold was going to be a legendary. So I don't know what color. Maybe the gold means something higher than a greater. I don't know. But when you get a hero, you get soul stones, and obviously you can use the soul stones to upgrade the hero. That's pretty much how it goes. Fairly standard there as far as games go. Moving on here, another blue orb. You can see the animations are nice and all that. Games that have good dopamine animations are important. I do feel like they sort of ripped off a little bit of Genshin Impact, to be honest, with the way the poses are. It does feel a little bit that way, but maybe it's just me. Here's another blue one. Let's see what we get. I've yet to see a purple, by the way. I've only seen blue and gold. Have only been the colors I've seen. And I already have her. I did, like I said, about $40 in summons. I don't own any legendaries. I own like 1 rare. And everyone else is just like the standard garbage you get. There's a pack, I think it's $9 or something, that gives you a whole bunch of rare champions in the beginning, and it lets you actually choose your rare champions. So that was one of the better deals if you're looking for that. We got 2 summons left here. I'd like to get a gold to show you guys the other animations, but you know my drop rate lucks when it comes to this type of stuff. What can we get? All right, Cade, last pull. One time, no whammies. Come on, give us a gold orb. Nope, we got a blue one again. And last but not least, there you go. So that was 5 summon pulls. That's not exactly a lot of summon pulls. It's not even a 10 pull, but you can get an idea of the animation. Overall, if you want my approximation of the game, it seems like a 7 out of 10. Seems like a fairly standard gacha game. Really like the graphics. It looks like it's sort of the next generation of graphics. They're pretty good. The voice acting's pretty good. The game's probably worth a solid attempt to trying it. You might really like it. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. If you hate it, leave it in the comments down below too, and we'll figure it out. I think the next video I'm going to do is a summoning session for this game to see, you know, like a real one, do like 30 pulls or something. I know there's a $90 pack, so I'll take a look at that. I'm not going to go live stream this game right now and see exactly what it's all about. So twitch.tv/darthmicrotransaction, and I'll be live now.